Hello everyone, Drudge here. Welcome back to RuneScape Weekly Update video. Now this one, there's actually quite a few updates that did come out this week. The biggest one being the Bounty Hunter is now out. Now before I go into too much of the actual rewards and stuff, I'll actually read the news post relating to it, then I'll go into the update, then I'll go into the patches, and then also a new advertisement for the Mega Thread. Okay. So Bounty Hunter is out, and you need the minimum requirements are number 1, RuneScape membership, number 2, level 20 combat. Now to start, you need to go to either World 97 for Legacy or World 106 for the EOC. That's the main thing, and on those worlds you'll only be able to access Edgeville and the Wilderness. That's all it is. Now, when you do go out into the wilderness, you'll be assigned a bounty target. So, whoever your target is, that's the main one you want to get. Okay, so you don't want to get... you can get the other ones, but they're considered rogue kills. And when it comes to rogue kills, you'll get some points, but not nearly as much. So, it's something to actually keep in mind. Now, there is a lot more information on this in the Mega Thread. That is why I want to go to the Mega Thread as well. Let's do the Mega Thread. We'll do the rewards. Now, if you go to the Mega Thread, this is by Mod Shawnee. It's a very well-placed thread. And what it does is it completely goes through every single thing in detail. But as we already discussed a little bit, you got your target bounty, or your bounty target. That's the one that's going to get your main amount of points. And then if you go out and you do kill your main bounty, and then you come back, you get restocked, or you want to kill some more. In the meantime, you can kill other players. They'll just be rogue players, rogue targets, which they don't get you quite as many points, but they do get you points. Okay, and it says there is multiple ways of getting it. You can auto join as well. It does have a combat level range restriction. Defaults is 7, but may select a player from 1 to 50. So within that level range, it tries to get it as close as you can, but basically I think what it's trying to say here is if there's only one other person there and they're 50 ahead of you, you're going to get that person. So, do try to keep that in mind when you are going out there. The main thing you probably want to know about is the gaining bounty hunter points. And it says upon killing a player in a bounty hunter world, there's a chance that for a player to drop / upgrade an emblem. To upgrade an emblem, a player must have it in their inventory at the point they get the kill. So you always want to have your emblem as your PKing because you need to do it. Okay, emblems can be stolen via PKing from players, but will downgrade itself when it is dropped. So you don't want to die because then it drops and then you get downgraded. Okay. It says below sums up each emblem and the points gained if turned in. Okay, you got tiers 1 through 10, and it goes 10, 30, 100, 250, 500, 1000, 2500, 6000, 15,000, and 40,000. So there's actually quite a bit. Now, according to this, there's also a matchmaking system. So it's actually trying to match you with people who have not only a similar combat level, but a similar skill level. And how that is rated is basically your emblem. And it tries to get you with somebody who's roughly the same rating. It's a long end of the stick, that's how it is. But they do have the actual math they did to figure it out. Right here, you can see the equation. So that is another thing. There is different leagues. Most of that was just explaining a lot of the ELO system and the MMR system. It, it's pretty much just a basic down. It's just trying to get people as evenly matched with skill level, not like, your actual skills, but your combat efficiency and like how well you perform in PKing. It tries to get you matched up with somebody similar in the same range as you. There is different leagues, and there is 4 leagues on the launch. There's the Imp, Goblin, Ice Fiend, and Pyre Fiend. Imp is 0 through 1500. Goblin is 1501 to 1999. Ice Fiend is 2000 to 2999. Pyre Fiend is 3000 plus. Okay, and then there is the rewards, which we will actually go into the game itself to show you that, because I think you'd kind of be interested in seeing that. Now, I do want to discuss like the some of these items here. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory, but other ones are not quite as explanatory. Like the wow, there's quite a bit here. The adrenaline crystal is one of the things I want to actually say in here, in case it doesn't actually say. But when added to an adrenaline potion, it makes it into super adrenaline, which is a good replenishment potion if added directly. Amulet of the Forsaken, which is a good tier 70 tradable amulet, and it adds the following buffs on the original 6 Borrow's armor sets. And you have Dorak, which Dorak scales from full health rather than half health. Torag, gain 2% adrenaline / spec on activation. Guthan, boost Guthan's healing by 10%. Rack resets attack swing on activation. And Erheim also debuffs the opponent melee damage by 10% on activation. Kirill also debuffs the opponent's magic damage by 10% on activation. There's also the Crucible weapons. The bow, Decimation. It has an ability called Locate, 50% adrenaline. Your attacks for the next 10 seconds are AoE within a 3x3 around your main target. So it's pretty good. Annihilation Maul. That is the Maul, which is the melee item. It's Gravitate, and it says 50% adrenaline again. Each attack adds a stack to your opponent, 2 in Legacy, with a 1% damage increase per stack against it. Stacks are cleared after 30 seconds or when you miss an attack. The Obliteration, that is a staff, again, 50% adrenaline. Half your opponent's healing. This also affects his Nexus Blood Siphon, QBD's Minion Siphon, Calphite King's red and green auras, and Araxer's Web Shield and Pulsing Spider Heals. So these weapons are going to be really useful even outside of this, and it is worth noting they are tier 87 weapons with special attacks. And these weapons are tradable. Also, the deathmatch rewards, a lot of them actually the points dropped that you need to get the rewards and buy stuff. You got the Wilderness XP Enhancer, went from 3 to 1. Small Rune went from 1800 to 600. Ancient Teleport Tablet unlock went from 1200 to 300. Revenant Drop Enhancer 1800 to 200. Ogre Flask 300 to 100. Preserved Meat 300 to 100. Deathmatch Title 1800 to 600. Deathmatch Taunt 600 to 200. Superior Rock Shell 1200 to 300. Superior Spine 12 to 3. Skeletal 12 to 3. Supreme Champion Helm 3000 to 1500. Corrupt, Nasty, Malicious, Loathsome Rogue Gloves 600 to 300. Atrocious 1200 to 600. and Tier 78 Ancient Warrior equipment has been moved onto a sensible degrade system. It still degrades to dust, as there are new superior variants. The augmented versions carry an internal charge like other degrade to dust gear, becoming unusable once its charge is drained and it is at least item level 10. So that is the big thing with that. The other stuff is for the other updates that came out. But now on to the other aspects. For those of you who have been kind of irritated with all the skilling outfits that have been coming out through Treasure Hunter, good news. There's now the elite skilling outfits, which these are something you can make, but it does require invention, which is actually a good way to get more rewards through that skill. Alright, but to start collecting the fragments, you need, for the first two outfits, I should note also it is the ethereal outfit, so rune crafting, and gemstone, so mining. And to start collecting the fragments, you need 70 mining, or, well, and slash or rune crafting, for the respective skills. To create the outfit pieces, though, you need 80 mining and 20 invention for the gemstone golem. And for the rune crafting, for the ethereal, you need 80 rune crafting and 21 invention for the rune ethereal. Once you meet the 70 and requirements, you'll be able to collect the fragments of either one while training the corresponding skill. And success chance increases with your skill level, so the higher the level you are, the better the fragments you'll be getting more quickly. Okay, and then once you get all these, you need to head to your invention workbench, discover the new blueprint, which for it's 3,600 fragments will earn you a random piece of one of the base outfit variants. And it says, note that Iron Man players can collect the outfits and enjoy their benefits, but they cannot trade pieces with other players. So Iron Man, this is amazingly awesome news. This is something I've been personally waiting for a long time to happen to Iron Man accounts. It's really good news, because once you start seeing the effects of these, you'll understand why. You can trade. For normal accounts, you can trade, but it has to be directly with another player for another piece that is related to the same skill. So you can trade, let's say, sapphire gemstone with for ruby gemstone, but it has to be within that set. So you can't be trading gemstone for ethereal. It has to be straight up like that. But that's not including if maybe you are trading outside of that as an extra bonus, but you'd have to do that separately. Okay, now for the bonuses of this. The Magic Golem outfit, that is when you have the complete outfit made. You have a 7% chance, plus 7% success chance when mining. Living rock creatures are non-aggressive, imparts the mining benefits of the golden mining suit and Varrock armor if owned. That's not much, but it's not bad, especially the non-aggressive part. The Infinity Ethereal. Now this is when you have all of them made and you combine them all. So you have a 7% chance for double siphon runes in Runespan. Free movement between Runespan platforms. Level requirements still apply. 50% for rune pouches not to degrade on crafting. 5 daily teleports to Runespan, Yellow Wizard and back. Storage of 12 rune or pure essence. Body and legs each grant a weight reduction effect. Imparts rune crafting benefits of the Wicked Hood, Wicked Robes, and Moritani legs too, if owned. So, the base variants of the sets are Sapphire, Emerald, Ruby for the mining, and for the rune crafting is Law, Blood, and Death. And give increased success, doubling chances, although 5% rather than 7%, and the effects of other own skilling outfits. So even if you don't have the completed forms, it does give you a very good chunk. All right, so now we'll get into the streams that are going on this week. On November 15th, 1700 game time, Children of Maw Q&A. Sunday 20th at 1900 game time, PVM with Mod Lee. Otherwise, we go into the patch notes. It's not a very long list, so I'm not going to bother separating them too much. Skills, D&Ds, and minigames. Players can now check their progress in the empty throne room with Celia Diggory. Players can no longer remote bank all energy types, including cursed, such as via inboxes or legendary pets. It's actually kind of cheatsy, but some messages that are incorrectly referenced in the Crucible rather than Deathmatch have been fixed. The Make X system now works correctly with the Rune Pouch. Quest challenges and achievements corrected an issue where a player had fully repaired the Lady Lumbridge during the Dragon Slayer, but Ned didn't believe it was fully repaired enough. The zombie walk animation override is no longer disabled after an hour. The lava strike worms will no longer reduce damage taken for the first 10 seconds. Reclaiming stackable items from gravestones will now add to other existing stacks in the backpack. Last week's hot fixes. Dwarven miners in the empty throne room now deposit more crystals at a faster rate. Bix in the Seniston throne room can now be pedaled. Oh, Bix. Wow. Bikes in the Seniston throne room can now be pedaled with no crystals in the Refinatrix. Buying multiple XP lamps for a random skill from the Arc no longer awards a single lamp for the price of several. Gaining burning embers from a daily challenge with one free inventory space while owed a challenge bag no longer disconnects the player. The Make X system no longer closes itself when selecting a recipe which uses runes. Players can now earn burning embers for the Birth of Fire event when killing Araxi, the Queen Black Dragon, and Telos. Players are now able to gain burning embers and strange rocks from the empty throne room. Players can now re-enter the Slug Cave during the Salt of the Wound quest if they use the skip cutscene for traveling on ships. Herb burners are now persistently stored with Diango. Mystery boxes from the Birth of Fire event now award the correct variant of Spirit Gem. Also, it is worth noting that the Birth of Fire event is still going on for over 6 days yet. It's 6 days and some odd hours. I won't get more into Mod Shawnee's post, but let's go a little bit more into this. We'll show you guys some of the rewards. Now, I didn't personally unlock any of the rewards yet. I'm not really a PKer. I don't really quite have that talent. Now, we're having a little bit of a slow load. One thing I do want to show you is the Birth of Fire event. As you can see, it's pretty well roughly 7 hours yet from this, and I'm recording this at almost 8 o'clock. So, you have almost 7 days to still complete this event. And you can get a max of 1,000 per day. And that's assuming you don't use rune coins to extend it further out, or bonds to extend it further out yet too, to get just, either buy the currency package or have an event daily limit extend. So those are those right there. Otherwise, let's view the shop. Now, we already discussed all the deathmatch gear when the deathmatch was updated. So if you remember, all these, they just had a massive price drop. Otherwise, you got the Wilderness Hilt, which is a battered hilt used to upgrade the Dragon Claw, Dagger, Longsword, Mace, and or Scimitar, making them, I believe, a level 70 variant of what they already are. You got the large rune pouch, which holds 16,000 runes. And you got the Adrenaline Crystal, we already discussed this. is the upgrade the adrenaline potions to super adrenaline. And then you got the Ancient Warriors equipment patch, and that upgrades the Ancient Warrior equipment even further up to level 88. It makes it even better yet. The Revenant Pet is a Revenant Pet. You got random Brawling Gloves, which gives Brawling Gloves that are any skill. It's just random what you get. The Amulet of the Forsaken, that is the one that increases the effects of different borrows gears. So if you're using borrows for, let's say, invention, it's actually a worthwhile thing to get. Otherwise, you have Annihilation, which is the melee maul with a special attack of Gravitite. Decimation, the ranged bow with the special attack of Locate. And Obliteration, the magic staff with the special ability Devour. Now, it is worth noting, all these weapons cost 30,000 bounty hunter points. So it's quite a bit. Now, I think over the weekend, I will make some videos on Bounty Hunter, just to show how insane it can be. Because I got a feeling it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard to do. Also, since there is this stuff going on, we're going to go to... Oh, the mining one is in Falador. We're going to have the outfit unlocked that I can actually start gaining the fragments needed to make it. Now, this account doesn't really need it, so I don't know if it's really going to play a part, because I already have all these outfits for both of them through the treasure hunter way. But I should still be able to collect them now, regardless of the fact that, you know, I already have it in the outfit. There's probably dialogue I can actually discuss, because it was said that you need to actually talk to the skill master of the skills in order to have this actually start to go. And for whatever reason, I am very glitchy and laggy right now, which is actually kind of annoying. Not entirely sure why. Okay, well, here's the skill master. So we'll talk to this dwarf here. And we'll see. Okay. Ah, right here. On the very bottom, they added an option for the gemstone golem pieces. And it says I already have created the outfit pieces, and I do not need to receive further fragments. So do keep in mind, once you do have level 70, you do need to talk to the respective skill owner, skill master. So now, the mining one is a dwarf. You'll see his cape right at the mining guild in Falador. The rune crafting one, I believe, is actually in the magic guild. Not the magic guild, the magic wizard's tower. If I remember correctly, she is at, I believe it's a she too, and she's at the very top. So these skills are actually pretty close together. Again, sorry for the glitchiness. I'm not entirely sure why my internet connection must be just a little bit slower than usual tonight, so please bear with me a little bit. But okay, we're soon at the wizard's tower. As you can see, it's right up there. Also, I do want to remind you guys, keep in mind, this Saturday is the event I was talking about before. So do keep in mind there is that slight reward / clue scroll event going on, player made. It'll get you a few items, and these are all given for free by me. All you have to do is participate and have seen the videos to participate and found the information. I've left numerous links, well, numerous hints throughout my videos about it, so it is known. Okay, yeah, so you'll want to talk to her, Loraria, I believe is her name, and you'll ask her. I already have the outfit again, so it says I don't need to go any further. But those are the two locations you need to go to once you hit level 70, and then you can start collecting your fragments. So that is actually it for overall. But yes, it does say here, once a player learns the blueprint, they can use the following recipe, provided they are level, their required level. So now there's one more thing I want to go to do, and we'll go to file order because we want to see now if I can actually just go there and create these outfits without actually having to worry about collecting all the pieces. Need a little bit of a drink. Alright, if we go up here, this is the Invention Guild, so yeah, this is where we're going to be needing to go for this. Alright, I want to go to Discover. Okay, yeah, see I have a lot of things here. See, as you can see, it takes 0 inspiration, but it does require you to have, you know, different things completed in order to do. Now, if you remember, you do gotta experiment a little bit to unlock stuff like this, and it can be a pain, but remember, when it comes in terms with actually, you know, selecting it, you want to make sure you do have 0 with the lowest amount possible, which is usually green, but for this, the outfit, it requires 0 inspiration, so it doesn't matter. So we will invent this, and as a result, I did get Invention XP, and I discovered a new recipe. So now, no matter what happens, I can always make that item. So if I go over here, right here it is, it says Rune Ethereal Out Piece, and I'll see I need 3,600 Rune Ethereal pieces, or fragments, in order to make a piece. So it can be a pain in the butt for people like Iron Man accounts that can't trade with other players, because you might get a lot of repeat pieces, but it'll be worth it in the long run, and I'm assuming that means you could probably disassemble them as well, and it's hard to say what exactly you'll be able to get. But that'll do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.